Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about 5 or 6 of my bucket list pours. So these are pours that one of them I've had, 5 of them I may see, may not see. This list actually was a little bit more extreme until I started looking for photos and information on those pours, and turns out there may only be a few bottles in them, so I had to rearrange them a little bit. But this is my 5 pours I want to drink before I die. So first, total honorable mention is Old Forester, King of Kentucky. Now, the only reason it didn't make my list is they do come out every year. They are quite available. You can go to your local liquor barn and have a pour of it. So maybe like a super short barrel one or a super good one, you know, but that's the only reason it's not really on this list. But King of Kentucky, that's a pour right there. So what am I drinking today? This is, don't tell the wife, Bardstown Doisy Daney, one of her favorites, absolutely delicious, wine finished. And basically I had a bottle and a half and I decanted down into 2 smaller bottles, and this is what's left over. So the first one on my list is one that I've actually had it just the other day. Thank you, Mike. Is Booker's Rye. So Booker, or Frederick Booker Noe II. He was born 929, died in 2004. These barrels were distilled by him and put down in 2003. So they sat for 13 years. So in 2016, Booker's released a Booker's Rye, the first Booker's Rye and last Booker's Rye. But Booker never wrote down the recipe. Nobody knew what he was doing. Nobody knows the mash bill. It's going to be pretty hard to recreate it. Rated as maybe one of the best ryes ever, and it really is. It's amazing the roller coaster you go on from drinking it. You know, the different flavors as you keep taking sips is something I've never really experienced before. So that was on my list, and if you want to, if I brought it in, pa-chang! There it is. There, the Booker's Rye. Wow, that's amazing. But yeah, no, so that was a fantastic pour, really on my bucket list. Hard to find. I think part of the bucket list has got to just be expensive. Yeah, that's the way it's going to be because it's rare. It was maybe a one-off or very, very seldom. So Booker's Rye definitely ticks all those boxes, and it's got to be an excellent whiskey. So number 2 on my list is E.H. Taylor Tornado Survivor. So this one is apparently not that good. You know, everyone says, oh yeah, there's better E.H. Taylors, but I want to try it so I can be the guy who says that to other people. So I'd love to get this up against like a single barrel and just see if it's just all hype or what it is. But basically the story is back in April 2nd, 2006, a tornado ripped through Kentucky there, Frankfort, Kentucky, and ripped the roof off Warehouse C, which is where they apparently store all of the E.H. Taylor. So they thought, you know, they couldn't get up there to repair the roof for like a summer or something, or like 12 months. And when they finally did, they guessed that stuff up there in the roof was going to be no good, but they tried it, and apparently it was some of the best stuff they ever had. So once again, a once off, never to really be repeated again. You know, even if another tornado comes through and you know, it hits Warehouse C, it's just not going to be the original. So you can, I actually did see this at Justin's House of Bourbon on the bar, $200 a pour.
Say what?
Pretty expensive, but like I say, for a bucket list pour, I think under different circumstances, I might give that a go. So yeah, E.H. Taylor Tornado Survivor. Bucket list pour. So this one I had to deviate a bit. My original list was like a Pappy's 23 cask strength, but when I tried to find videos and images, I think I've seen it and heard about it. I know there's one maybe in the Vault Buffalo Trace, and I think I've seen it on secondary but anyway. the 23, the 25, you're talking $50,000, $60,000 bottle. So that might be the afterlife list, I don't know. But anyway, so I dropped it down, if you can say drop it down, to like a Pappy 20, Pappy 23, but from Stitzel Weller. So Stitzel Weller has a long history, right? Like it's Weller, it's literally the Weller family, and they had a distillery. Pappy was one of their salesmen. Eventually ended up taking over the distillery and started making his stuff at the Stitzel Weller distillery there. Julian Van Winkle II had to sell it during hard times, but they still had leftover barrels, so they produced it for a long time, leading up till the changeover where, well, right now Buffalo Trace does it for them, but between that time from Stitzel Weller to Buffalo Trace, they had it Boones County. And so Boones County back in the day was apparently Wild Turkey, and what I read was apparently the Pappies that blew everything up, that got rated 99 out of 100, like the highest rating from Whiskey Connoisseur or whatever, that wasn't even a wheated whiskey. That was a rye bourbon. So that wasn't even a wheated bourbon, it was a rye bourbon. So anyway, lots of ins and outs there, but anyway, they make fantastic stuff. And to just taste what Stitzel Weller really tasted like, let's display a couple. They are, you know, you can look it up, there's numbers, there's dates, of course, because you can work out when they stopped producing, so when they got it from. So yeah, I think any of the old Stitzel Weller Pappies 2023s would be on my bucket list of stuff to try, because Julian Van Winkle III, apparently he's just chasing that taste. Like everything he does is to try and chase the taste of the Stitzel Weller Pappies. So I would like to know what they taste like. So the next on the list is an old school Willet. Something that made them famous, right? Like they used to source all their stuff, and now they got their own distillery and they make their own stuff. And like I've got a purple top, I haven't opened it yet. I've tried other purple tops. It's fantastic. But some of this old stuff really made its name. Like, and apparently they have like C barrels. Like they have a barrel number because everything's single barrel. So you'll have their barrel number and everything like that. But some of them start with C or have letters in them, and apparently those are the good ones. There's wax dipped ones. There's a whole online community that have tracked all the Willet bottles and where they come from and stuff like that. So to try a really good one, like originally I said maybe one from Stitzel Weller, because at some point they did get their stuff from Stitzel Weller, but really just one of them that was famous, one of them that is really, really good, just to see what all the hype was about, because there's a lot of hype behind Willet. And some of the older ones, if you look at it, Willet is now written in cursive, but some of the real old ones, it's like block lettering, and those are a really good one too. It's just, you know, when I got into bourbon, Purple Top Willet was just, it looks fancy, it's a great looking bottle, and it was amazing. As I've gone on, the MSRP of them is so high that they'll literally sit there because, you know, they might be $300 or $400, and there's not really, they've taken out all that secondary money, right? Because it just is what it is. But anyway, so that's the next on my list of bucket list pours, is an old wax dipped C barrel, amazing Willet. All this talking about great pours has got me pretty thirsty, so cheers. Kink. It's already good. And like I say, I did my budget one, came out just previously. This one was going to be first, but I figured I better put a budget one. There's all different bourbons for all different people at all different price ranges. You know, these are the things that literally bucket list. Like you shouldn't be able to just go in and get these pours, because if you could, you would, and it'd be gone, because there's only so much of this made. It's supply and demand, unfortunately. So the last on the list is Wild Turkey Dusties, specifically Cheesy Gold Foil or Donut. So the Cheesy Gold Foil, especially the older ones, I hear from Kenny from the Mashup, was a fantastic podcast. He seems to think about 84 Cheesy Gold Foil is the one to have. I saw some of these in Japan. They were still a little bit too expensive. They're like $1,200 or something over there, and then you got to risk flying them back. But you get back here and you realize, oh man, they're like $2,000 a bottle or upwards of that. So it's something I really want to try. And the donut that is another one that's like just apparently a classic wild turkey. So it's two of the classic dusty wild turkeys. So I believe both of these were export only. The donut was cask strength, so cask strength straight out of the barrel. Went to Japan. Cheesy Gold foil was 101 proof, I believe, but still of that same era of the dusty turkey. And if anyone's ever had any dusty turkey, you just know how damn good that stuff is. A lot of it, whether it was export only or not, mostly went overseas, because back in the 80s we weren't really drinking bourbon here in the US. So that's where a lot of it is now, but no matter where it started off at. So yeah, that's another one on the list, and I can't wait to try some of those. I think another trip. I even saw a donut at a store in Japan. I think I'll put it up here somewhere. Sitting there on the shelf, the price I think 70,000 yen. So you know, you're talking close to $1,000. Maybe I'll put the price up here. But yeah, it was just a little bit too expensive for me at the time, but might have been worth it to try the legendary donut. And it sat in the window, which I didn't like, you know. But anyway, because sunlight, bourbon does not like sunlight. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so those are my bucket list pours for the end of 2024. Things can always change. I got one knocked off. If anyone can help with the rest, let me know, because that would be amazing. But Booker's has been knocked off. I think I can probably get that Tornado if I go to Justin's and outlay $200. But if anyone wants to hook me up for less than that, also send me an email here. But yeah, this is the stuff that, you know, bourbon legends are made of. That's what I really like. I like to try the stuff that, you know, was produced once, maybe never again. Well, it won't be ever again. No matter how good things are, they're never going to recreate this sort of lightning in the bottle and sort of a taste of history. So that's a good thing about bourbon. You're not only you're tasting a delicious drink, it's you're tasting history. Even the Bardstown Doisy Daney, they're probably never going to do that ever again. The Carter, they're never going to do that ever again, because Carter may not exist. So it's funny to think what was popular back then and what is going to be sort of popular or hard to get in the future. You know, it's not all about chasing it, but I do like to have backups of stuff that I might not be able to ever get, like Coy Hills, 2021 Coy Hills, and now 2024 Coy Hills, because, you know, they're not going to do that again. They might do it again, but it won't be the 2024, just like 2024 isn't the 2021. So anyway, what are your guys' bucket list pours? Like, what are some of the pours that you just, and it's, money's no object, right? Take money out of it. What would be the drinks that you would really want to try? Because like I say, I don't know if I'm going to pay $200 for a pour of Tornado Soil. I know I can. I know where it is, but am I going to do it? Probably not. But so take money out of it. If you could try anything in the history of bourbon, what would be yours? Comment below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. I'm actually off to Oregon next week, so this will probably come out Tuesday. I'll already be in Oregon. Might get some video over there. Maybe do a live with Eric from Oregon. Live from Oregon, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Might not be anything. Might be an AI video. We'll see. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.